So be it, Jedi.
What's going on, guys? Back with another video. If you and I have anything in common, probably got some holes in your collection. There's probably some figures you'd like to have, but they're either old, too expensive, or you're sort of in that gray area where you're hoping there'll be a reissue or 2.0. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 10 figures that I wouldn't recommend you buy. I think you should wait on the 2.0, and patience is going to pay off in the end, I think. So this list isn't in any particular order, and I'm sure you could probably think of another figure to add to this list. This is just 10 I came up with that I think are pretty relevant and will apply to a lot of people. Starting off this list, we have Yoda from Attack of the Clones. I think this came out 4 or 5 years ago, way before I started collecting, and it's gone. It goes for, quite a bit of money on the secondary market. And I think if there's any Yoda that needs to be reissued, it's probably this one. Just give it rolling eyes. Maybe change the way they glue the hair on. I'm kind of sketched out about that. But the sculpt and the paint itself looks pretty good, and I think would be serviceable for today. If this came out and was announced as a reissue or 2.0, I'd definitely be all over it. Next up, we have the Hulk from the first Avengers movie. Now, this figure is old. I think it's at least 10 years old. In my opinion, if you're only going to have one Hulk representation, you want the Hulk before Marvel really destroyed the character and turned him into a buffoon. This is the Hulk that everybody's waiting on to be reissued or 2.0. I really think you could use it, but at the same time, it goes for quite a bit of money on the secondary market, and I would just try to be patient because it's coming. Next up, we have a little caveat here. This is essentially any Darth Vader that came out before the Obi-Wan Kenobi version. I think if you go that far back, you're really going to start to deal with some deterioration, some pleather peeling, and it's tragic, but at least Hot Toys is moving in a better direction with the nylon. But I really would not advise buying an older Darth Vader that is, beyond 2 years old. Next up, we have Hot Toys Neo. InArt has talked about making a Neo. I think if you're going to have one, it's definitely for the first or second film. Do not buy the Matrix Resurrections figure. It is pretty dated at this point. They've definitely nailed down their Keanu Reeves sculpt. But yeah, if there was to be a new version of this announced, I'd definitely be all over it. Matrix is one of my favorite movies, one of my first memories of watching this film as a young child. Probably too young, but definitely would love to see a new version of Neo. Next up, we have Palpatine from Return of the Jedi, Emperor Palpatine. This, in my opinion, really needs to be 2.0. Separate rolling eyes, better tailoring, better paint on the sculpt. It's inevitable, like many of these figures, and I would just bide your time and wait it out because they've already done like 3 Palpatines or Darth Sidious's in the last 2 years. So in my opinion, this is probably the definitive one, so it's coming eventually. Next up, we have Ripley from the first Alien movie. I figure I'm in desperate need to see a 2.0 of. I really would like to have the original version, but as with all these figures on this list, I think a 2.0 or, at least an Aliens Ripley is coming soon. So don't spend the secondary market prices, just bide your time a little bit longer. Next up, we have young Indiana Jones. I think this was the DX5, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty old figure at this point. I know Present Toys did a third-party version not that long ago that is pretty good. But in the last 2 years, we've seen Harrison Ford's likeness used 3 separate times. Return of the Jedi Han, old Indiana Jones, and Han Solo from The Empire Strikes Back. Just be patient, because if he's signing off his likeness or however the logistics of it works, if Lucasfilm and Disney is okaying Harrison Ford's likeness on other figures, I see no reason why they wouldn't allow Indiana Jones from the original trilogy. Next up, we have Luke Skywalker from A New Hope. This is really the only A New Hope figure on this list because I think it's the one that deserves a 2.0 the most. Head sculpt is not great. Of course, it's not terrible, but by today's standards, it's a little bit dated. And if they're going to, start off with a swing on the A New Hope and start with the reissues and 2.0s, I think this would be a good place to start. And maybe for those interested, you can get the artisan treatment. But if you're going to do artisan, do sculpted as well. Love to see an updated version of this figure and a lot of the New Hope figures. Next up, we have the T1 T-800. Now, it could be the Tech Noir or the Police Shootout, whatever version. InArt is making this. It may be 2030 before we get it, but I would not go backwards and buy the Hot Toys version because there is a new one coming. Hot Toys may even be petty and announce their 2.0 of these figures before InArt does. So definitely be patient because they're coming either from Hot Toys or InArt. And last on this list, and the figure that honestly pains me the most to even put on this list, is Mace Windu. We just got this figure like less than 2 years ago, and right out the gate, it's just not good. I know some people have it in hand and say, it's okay, but for me, Mace Windu represents what it means to be like loyal to the Republic. He represents all the flaws in the Jedi Order, and I think if you're only going to have 2 Jedi Council members, you need Yoda and you need Mace Windu. And I'm just not going to settle for that figure, so I'll wait for the imminent 2.0 or reissue with separate rolling eyes and an actual likeness that looks like Samuel L. Jackson. It's sad, it's disappointing, but I wouldn't settle. Anyway, guys, that is this list. 10 figures I think you should hold your horses on. Don't buy, even if you see a deal. Try to be patient because one way or another, at least one of these figures is going to come out soon, right? We got a 10% chance of success, so we'll see. And let me know if there's any figures that you would recommend missing out on. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, see you in the next one.
I'm sorry, sir. It's time for you to leave.